Mad Science Hour. So I mentioned it, I think, in the sound demo or in the actual review of these, or maybe I didn't mention it at all. Well, I said in the review, hey, look at these. These are the Micca RB42s. And the port's the same size as the original RB42, which is only one driver, which means the port's too small, which means I should go into that apartment and get my drill press and make the port bigger. And then I had the realization that there's another option, which is what this video is going to cover. What if, instead of trying to make it so that both drivers work to create the low end and then that, what if I were to, which side is this on? Jank this driver out, disconnect it so that only this is an active driver, plug the port completely, and have this act as a passive radiator. So basically make this the active, make this a RB42, and then make this a passive front firing radiator, which may not work because it's front firing, but this mod's going to cost me approximately $0. So, let's try it. Because these do lack the low end. I mean, even compared to the Oohs, they lack the low end. The RB42s are God's speaker incarnate. And these are just like God's center channel. That's fine. But they could be so much more. If this doesn't work, since I was gifted this pair from the Micca distributor, and it cost me nothing, even though if I would have put my hard-earned dollars into a pair of these, it would still cost only $200, which is like, what? I'll cut open the back and I'll actually I'll just start experimenting with different length and width ports. I might even ask some people about calculations. Now, the best part about taking a speaker out of the box is usually getting this part where it's like stuck. There you go. Zeos has done this before, can you tell? Don't get a knife and try to wiggle it. Just gently bang. Those are on there tight. I may have to get my BB EDC pliers, even though I don't carry these around every day anymore. And I think that's the point of my life. I knew that I was changing as a human being. When you have an EDC, like set in stone, and you're just like, fuck, I don't want to keep this in my pocket anymore. You just don't. I want to put this down. I don't want to crush the tweeter with it, and it is very, very magnetic. Magnanimous. There's one. There's two. So, they're already covered in a heat shrink, so they're not going to ground out if I leave them in there. Ooh, we could take a peep at the, if only I had some flashlights. A peep. A peek. There's our port. It's a little stubby guy. A lot of stuffing in here. Wow. This is like old school amounts of stuffing. I'm just going to tuck these away. It's not adhered to the wall, which is nice. I hate when they tape it. Look how thick this fucking box is. It comes up. No wonder this is so dead. I'm gonna have to take a picture of that. Hold on. Patronage chat, in case y'all don't know. That's not a thing. Patronage chat wants to know these things. That's the Play Store. That's definitely not pasta at all. It's this. I'm in manual mode, which is great. Yeah, the thickness of the wall, that is insane. It's the full width. Like any bigger a driver and it wouldn't fit. God bless you, Micca, or whoever you are in China. Your name's not Micca. So that's done. That's literally, I'm done with this. I'll do this on the other one as well. There. Should be able to just drop it back in. Alright, I'm going to close this up. So now, in theory, let me explain the theory of a passive radiator versus a port. A port shoots out air, so the drivers compress it it gets squeezed a bit, and there's energy is built up, and then it goes whoosh out the port. And you can use how big the box is and how hard the drivers push, how much air the drivers push, the resonant frequencies of shit, to tune where you make the driver do the most good. And everything in flux is good. And it's not a very easy thing. There's calculators out there to help you calculate the size of a port and the density and all that other shit. How much volume should be there compared to the volume of the box, compared to the Q factors of the driver. And what's harder to do is a passive radiator like Vanuatu uses. Or like, who else was using a passive radiator recently? Oh, Buchart. My, the S400's a passive radiator. Because now you're using an active driver and another driver. See, the port's going to move air, but these move air. So that's going to move air. So if it doesn't have a hole in the box, which we're going to plug it, and we're not going to have a hole in the box, you could have a sealed speaker, which is something where it's like just, that's it. It's just a sealed speaker. It compresses the air in the box. That fights back on the driver. Then the driver goes forward on its own. I don't want to over tighten that. Passive radiator, this can be a different weight, a different surround density, and as one driver moves, it compresses the air in the box, and it's sort of like what you should have is you should have it moving with it, but slightly delayed and usually a different side. That's why this is, I'm not sure if it's going to work because it's the same side. But it's a more controllable way. You don't get any port chuff noise or anything like that. I don't think you need to watch me doing that exact same operation again. I'm gonna make sure I'm doing it on the bottom because since I'm an upside down freak anyway, I'm gonna leave the active part on top. It could have been the other way if I felt like it, but it's not. And I also could be using a power tool instead of my. This is why my wrists are so thick. It's from all this screwing. Crickets. Why am I showing you doing the other one? All right. I'm going to disconnect this. I have my the Big Swan M3As up in here. So, well, I screw it. This is a fucking Z review. Actually, it's a Mad Science Hour. I don't end it ever. Besides, just like in the Matrix, we have all become ruthlessly efficient at it. Lift, cradle, bang, flip, grab. You want to pull directly away from where it is. We're not trying to bend it. We want to pull straight. Pluck, pluck. It's still a very nice looking crossover in this. I definitely haven't cheaped out on that at all. Covered in gold and she's fine. I'll stay away. Now, doing this just off the bat, without plugging the port, shouldn't help anything. It should just make it sound weaker. Plugging that port should direct the energy that is being lost through the rear to the front. Now, I think there'd probably be some very, very specific chamber length. Like, you'd have to divide this internally so the air takes longer to get over there and then out because they're just right next to each other. If you really were building this. So I know in the when it's rear firing, that's fine because you're literally dealing with the bounce off the rear wall. You have lots of delay. That's how those work. That's how the Vanuatus, both Vanuatus have their passive radiators on the back because they are throwing whatever bass note the front's playing, the back's playing. It's playing it at a slight delay with a slight different intensity, and it's hitting the back wall or window, whatever you've got behind your speaker, and then it's going to roll forward. Some of the best speakers I heard at the Capitol Audio Fest, actually no, the best speakers I heard at the Capitol Audio Fest were the Icons, spelled like ZMF spells his, and Shriver. You know what? I'm not going to set this up in my living room, although this would be the place to test this. Damn. because I got these hooked up and the cat's asleep. Alright, you know what? This camera has a start and stop function. I've done the hard work. I do need to find something to plug this. If I go to Lowe's, they literally sell plugs, like rubber corks. Because I want this to, this has to be closed, like closed. Like you could stuff something in here and then cover it with duct tape, and that would probably act well enough. But I'd like to do it like a rubberized, like solid port. Because I mean, remember, there's this much wood on these speakers. So, you know, just putting a little piece of tape on that is not going to be as solid as that. And you really want to make it inert. What do I have I could shove in there? I guess I could just ball up foam, like really density, push it in there. Or you know what? Kaizen foam would work. Alright, I'm not going to start searching around my apartment in this video. So burb. Oh, my fucking hands hurt. Anyway, so I had these pieces of Kaizen foam, which is a waterproof foam. You probably get it in packages all the time. And I rolled it, and then I cut it, and then I rolled it, and then I cut it. And I managed to block this one, like, I'm almost down. It's this long, so it's in there quite a bit. And what we're doing is we're just going to lay this on its fascia, which once you put the cover on doesn't damage the drivers. And I roll it real tight, like hurt your hands, roll it tight. Because you want it to, if it's going to expand, you want it to do it not up here. See, she gets in there, and then once she's in there, you start it. I don't want to poke holes in either. I was thinking about shoving things next to it, but the whole point of this is to make it an airtight seal. Like this would pretty much hold. Oh, you can hear me pop it a little bit. I'm pretty sure that would hold water on a fucking submarine. It's tight, boys and girls. And for the point of this experiment, that should be plenty. What I need to do now is go grab myself an amplifier, which that can go get, because we got amps. We got amps for days. Topping PA3. Wow, this is some your mom farted. M500. Welcome to Zeos' closet of mystery and intrigue. One day I'll have a house if my Patreon ever hits that magic goal. And then I'll be like, woot. You'd be like, what, Zeos? You'd be like, woot. Alright, I need a... Do I see? I don't keep like figure 8 connectors with their amps because I just keep a pile of these because they're all pretty much universal. It's on like 3 styles. So I could this down. Need some speaker wires, which again, luckily Micca always hooks a boy up. Are these 12 footers or 6 footers? I really don't need the 12 footers. I just need some shorties. Are you a shorty? Or are you crazy fucking long? That's a short one. Okay, we got one short one. Can I get another short one? Why do none of these feel short? How many are here? That's a short one. Okay. Got a bunch of them. I know that one's long. Well, those 2 are long. I wish they made 3 footers or 4 footers. I know these are 6 foot. You should be happy with that, Zeos. Happy with, but no, they're not really 6 foot because I put that to the floor. That's a foot above my head. So these are 7 footers. Fucking Micca, always over giving. Where do I want to set this up? Where do I have speaker stands? Because I do want to test this. Like, I don't listen to speakers on my kitchen counter. That is not how I'm going to be able to tell if I've done good here. And I've got everything disconnected and unwired from my fucking front end, so I can't even use the big crowns. I need signal source still. Ow. Hold on. I bit that. Everything sounds bad here. I need a place to plug this in. I know what I'm going to use for source. Of course, I've been staring at it. Hold, please. We're going to do some real funky shit with this. Where did I see the wire? I've literally seen the wire. Is it in my other apartment? Is it just sitting in my other apartment? Hold on. Zeus is in the middle of losing his fucking mind. Burb. Alright. I got it. I got it. I didn't think I got it, and then I got it. Actually, I need these tables. I don't have the fucking bottom rubbers on these because I usually put them on my yoga mats. Center them in the room. Line up with that. I have this big piece, and I just cut one for doing sound demos, which is a smaller piece. So, let's worry about point reflections off the table. I should make another one of these exactly the same. And now I can put these stands down. I could have also used those Australian stands. I just didn't. Now, I found this wire. This is the wire I specifically bought. Took this amp to this DAC. Of course, it looks expensive. Pasta, if you're watching this, I don't know if she's watching these. Do you watch these, Pasta? Link this son of a bitch. I wish this boot fit a little better. It's a little loose there. I have to get my heat gun on it. Actually, wait. Will you close down anymore, or are you not a heat shrink? I don't think this is actually a heat shrink. I think it's just a boot. Now I just have a hot boot. Okay. Look how beautiful these connectors are. This is like a $17 thing, but I wanted to keep the silver theme going, and that's silver, and that's silver, and this is silver. And remember when I told you during the review of the XT05 that you can't run Bluetooth and use the DAC? You can if you do that, because that is just a plug to hold it in place anyway. So we need to go down here and go over to that. Right channel, got left channel. I'm gonna need to get my phone to Bluetooth to that. We gotta plug in power, which is gonna be a problem. Fucker. I guess I could unplug one of the swans temporarily. This should fit right there. Yeah, because all my power plugs back there, I have 6. Actually, no, I have 6 there, and I have at least one open there. Okay, we're golden. We golden. I just need to get the power brick plugged up for the topping PA3, which will be our speaker amp. Plug this in. The power plugs always make it look ugly. This is why people spend so much on power fucking plugs. Try to remove the ugliness. Oh, fuck. There we go. That's lit up blue, which is terrible. That's off. All that glitters is gold. And she's building a speaker that's a passive radiator. I always line up my visuals. Do I see sub if I do that? Like, no, if I did that I see amp, but I don't see amp there, which means that's gonna move over. stand in the middle, find the center, and then oh, it's still. What's my amps are? Do that. Okay. Either way, let's get my fizz on the rizzing. This is just like having a live stream, only you're crazy. This doesn't even need to be hooked up to hook up. Come on, there we go. Okay. She's blinking blue. She's already connected because it's the greatest thing ever. Let's turn this on. We need to set it to coaxial in. There it is. Let's turn this on. Input 1. Am I on input 1? I can't tell. Yes, I am. Princess Pasta's like Jesus Christ. Oh. Okay, to the launching of the foo bars. So FLAC, Bluetooth 5 to that thing's DAC outputting to this powering these. Okay, the output in the back is line out, so we shouldn't. Now, I don't want to play a lot of music because obviously this should get blocked immediately and internationally. This is sort of like a near field setup. Come on, power brick, you got it. So, there's bits of food from the countertop. But now I can. What am I doing? I'm so sorry, everyone. Hold on. There. Susie wallpaper can be found in the Swan M3A sound demo. The last wallpaper. I usually do the last sound demo if I know I'm doing 7 in a row. The very, very, very last one. I try to make a good one. Of course, I'll leave that on there after the sound demo for as many weeks as I have nothing to review out here. And Susie. She's the best. Okay. I really can't play much more of this with y'all in attendance. I do want to feel, and the Dredd soundtrack, not Judge Dredd, not 95 Stallone, Dredd, with my boy there. Look at it move. I would. If you didn't tell me I disconnected the drivers, I wouldn't know. That thing's moving as much as the powered one, like. Because of the sealed port, let me check. We definitely have no leaks from that port. Like, it is rocking and rolling and no leaks. But I'm also not feeling a whole lot of like earth shaking low end. So I'm going to push it back against the wall because middle of the room is not always the best place if you want to get bass. Let's retract these wires for a second. Let's just shove them a little bit further back. See if that helps. If not, then it's going to be involved a matter of your other step would be weighing down the drivers that are currently moving to try to tune them. Now, luckily for us, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has come down and granted us all this shit. Blue tack. I'd probably specifically use a blue tack because it is one of the stickiest ones. I have white and gray. But, So the purpose, yeah, I'm definitely feeling like there should be more bass than there is. If I got the RB42s, which are just sitting in the room, and put them here, exact same setup, I'm pretty sure I'd be knocked down. So slowing this down, tuning this with weight, I would just stick it in the middle of the driver and not damage it, is next step. And after that, it's hook the driver back up, drill out the port, put a bigger port. They still sound good. It's just not gonna be, it's still not fixing the low end like I'd like it to fix the low end. So, straighten these out. Where's the edge of the table? I don't want to give it a disadvantage of being far away. Who's gonna use these covers? No one's gonna use these covers. Throw these wires in the back behind it. Nice straight loops. Everything has to be straight and clean. It'll sound better if it's straight and clean. I think I might be able to tell that the actual driver is disconnected, because this should lag behind and actually cancel out a little bit of the mid-range low end. Like what I'm doing is complete bullshit. But theoretically, if I were to tune this properly, it would delay it enough that instead of it coming and fucking with it like that, it would be a complete full cycle behind from the weight. So let's do that. I don't know how much weight to add. It's a very strong surround. And how strong the magnet is and how strong all the other components of the speaker are will affect it. So what I'm going to do is very technically take this wad of blue tack, rip it in half till I have two about equal size blobs. And it's important that they're about equal size blobs. I could get a grama scale out. I'm going to open this up into like a little patty. Something that's got a lot of surface area, and you just, I don't have to push it down. That shit's so adhesive. Once you work it like a little bit like dough, the stuff will just glue itself down, essentially. I'm pushing this around, but I'm not. Don't hurt it. Just make sure it's happy and try to make it even in the center. We are adding weight. You don't want to add an odd, you know, all the way at the bottom as the only weight. There we go. You're a happy guy. This is the fun things Zeos can do because you patrons have followed him. Keep him out of a real job. Real job would kill Z reviews. Remember that. Please don't make me have one. All right. Bubblegum, passive radiator, take one. There's actually a difference. All right, more testing needs to be done. I'll call this part one. I might continue it more and then add it to the end of this video with a little more babying and testing. If not, part two will be drilling the back out and adding bigger ports. Because they need something. Anyway, click links. Thank you, Pasta, for watching this. Here's Kitty Cat for everyone. Here's Kitty Cat so that I could pay for the pasta. What would you pay for pasta? We pay the kitty troopers. Choopy doopy doobums. And I'll be back in part two. We're going to continue. Keep going. Hold on. I'm up at midnight of deep third top tag team for 2 We're close. We are so close. All right, so sit with me. I was doing blue tack applications, right? And then I ran out of blue tack. So then I went gray tack. And then I added so much gray tack, I'm like, well, this is stupid. Let me start getting washers and shit. So I got these washers, these are sharp, I don't want to put them on. So I was doing a blue tack ring around the washer and then putting the washer on. And then I was like, these washers, it keeps changing the sound every time I add weight. So this is the heaviest configuration I've had in it, and it sounds the best so far like this. More bass than stock. I did move the couch further back because there's a lull in the middle of the room, and if I push these back, I got to push the couch back, and then you get sort of like the balance. I don't have a perfect anechoic room, but let me peel off one of these for you so you could see how this has gone down without damaging it, please. Oh, shit. It's been on here for like 25 minutes. There we go. Trying to go off straight without like pulling in any direction. There you go. So I have not just a one giant washer, backed with another brass washer. I can't find my scale. I have a little digital scale and I don't know where the fuck it went. I'd love to tell you how much this weighs, but it's not a little. This is like 6 or 7 quarters. And I put blue tack, which is the stickiest of the thing. The gray tack sticks, but not all the time. Who could this be? Bullshit. Hello? Hey everyone, it's my final notice. Yeah, thank you. I can't wait to get my car insurance renewed from a place that's not even mine. Hi, Chewbacca. Anyway. Blue tack is the tackiest of the tacks that I have. White tack is for white things. Gray tack is good for hiding on equipment. But blue tack is the working tack. It's the one that does the most. And this, I've been playing songs for 25 minutes with just 3 globs of it. In that sort of shape, just gently applied. Just gently applied. So that as soon as you put it there, it like gets stuck. It starts getting sticky. And then you just sort of rotate it in place. Now I didn't work this again. I could center that rear one. Remember, we're trying not to destroy the driver here. Learn to work it. This finger motion is good. Use it in your day-to-day life. There we go. You just work the blue tack down. And that should be enough to actually play it and it hasn't fallen off.
Underprivileged. They love us, why? Because we feed the village. You really made it or just became a prisoner.
You could definitely see that that's not moving a whole hell of a lot more because there's so much more dampening. So I messaged GMS, who's the king of modding things and breaking them. So it's good to talk to someone who breaks things so you don't break things. And he's like, well, another way you could do that is use elastic to actually just pull the driver and let it force itself from going and dampen it that way, and that'd be a good way to tune it because you could just drill a hole. The ideal way to do that would be to access it through the back and have like a little, you could probably put an eyelet with a thread through the back of this driver, but then you'd have to attach this. You could even just turn this whole, if you've ever seen car audio setups where the magnet's outside the box, that could be done in this situation. You could take this driver out, rotate it, put it back on. You're just using it as a passive radiator anyway. So it doesn't matter, you don't have to hook any wires to it. Get a good seal around it, make sure when it sits it has a good seal. But then you have to find a way to attach to the driver an elastic and then put through the back a threaded rod eye loop with the elastic attached that you could screw down and slowly pull and tension that elastic. And that would tune it on the fly as it's playing. But you'd probably yank the goddamn dust cover off or wherever. You could probably build, if you were willing to get rid of the drivers and sacrifice them, you could either hole punch and thread through the actual cone, or I would probably personally get like 7 or 8 points of thread and just crazy glue them down and make a little pyramid that you could attach to that. Because your whole point is you're either mass loading or dampening the thing regardless. And for tuning purposes, this is the easiest because I'm literally just blue tacking heavy weights. Hi. Right now, blue tack and heavy weights are enough to tune it. The port doesn't leak, so that's good. And I am definitely getting more low end out of it than I was during like normal testing. Actually, you know what? Why am I not? These should be long enough wires. Now that I've complained about them not selling 4-foot cables. Let's put them up where I know speakers the best. Chewbacca made the litter box smell poo-poo. She the best. Did you make poo-poo in the litter box? Mad Science Hour approves of cat shit smell.
You willing to share that information and you been giving. Like who really won this? Like who really won that man that say he won this? Who really won that man that say he won this? Won this? Like who really won this? Like who really won who say he won this? Like who in the world gonna kill about your own put on the UK come list? Now don't be serious.
Oh, I can't play much music. I'm gonna get it fucking blocked in like 80 countries. Standing in the middle. That one's pointed to my left. That one's pointed at me, so I gotta turn that a little bit. This still might not be RB42 levels, honestly. Now that I have them up here, and I've got Just Run the Jewels playing. It's better. I think it's doing something strange with the mid bass. We're adding sub bass. We're creeping down now under 50 with this to like a noticeable level. And if you push it though, that's when you start hearing things. Because it's not designed like the crossovers pushing frequencies places. It's just ill prepared to do that. The proper way to do this is to drill the port bigger. Calculate it out, drill the port, insert a port. This is Mad Science Hour because it's fucking crazy. Now let me change to a different, how do I get to all tracks?
You know what get through summer school time.
Great. Like this. So now that's pipe organ and vocals. So it's not really using low end. Sounds fine. I needed to sound fine. Well, we're not concentrating on the bass, or else this mod is stupid if you're damaging the actual rest of the speaker. And it still sounds big and open and airy. It's the Micca RB42 tweeter doing its thing. I'm just hoping the crossover isn't completely different. I could, you want to talk about real mad science shit, go get the RB42, yank the crossover out of it, although it won't fit in this. This way I know it's specifically designed for one mid-range. Like, I wonder if we're throwing away anything, if I should put a resistor in line. Actually, you know what? I bet we're totally fucking with the ohms that the crossover is showing the amp by having one driver completely disconnected.
Yeah, fill me up.
Hi, Pasta. She sent me 2 photos. Now, this is a Mad Science Hour. How mad are we? Oh, baby, look at that pussy. Bleo. He's so cute. And oh, he's so cute. Pasta, he's so cute, Pasta. Pasta's cat's so cute. He is. When he's not a dick. Now my cat. She's a kitty kitty bunzun. Oh, you got crusties on your chin. Alright. Back to music and talking about this. I think what I'd have to do is I'd have to go forward. Like I said, I could contact Micca and say, look, I'm playing with some mods. Send me another 2 of these. This way I can keep one like this, do one with the port mod, maybe even ask to borrow a set that I could return that's like just full on unmodified and do a comparison. There was a beautiful speaker at Capital Audio Fest. I have a real bad picture of it. I was live streaming with my phone, so I couldn't take a picture of it. And I went back and I watched the live stream. It's like, oh my God, there it is. And it's this one, made by a company called Pure Audio Project. And it's just basically take my rack here, my tower rack, and install a beautiful white, it's a blurry picture because we just did it for the card. Install a beautiful white piece of wood that's painted here with the tweeter array. And then above that and below that, 15-inch open baffle drivers on a curve. And I would build it out of my rack. My rack's here, it's already there. Because one of the things we were looking at if you build this only project is you have to build a metal frame that holds all these drivers, 4 15-inch drivers and a tweeter. And too bad they don't sell this shit anymore. If someone could find a 42U skeleton rack, please link it to me. Because if I had 2 of these, you could just mount the tweeter flush and build. You could actually just buy the shelves and actually have them slide in and out with the mounts on it. And slide that one out and lock it on the side. It would be great. It'd be fucking great. So that's a nice DIY project. This is more just fuckery. I like fuckery though. Hold on.
'Cause you're the only one who resonates, that chase mouth open like
I wonder if it's the ohm load that's fucking with it more now than anything else. Because I've got this thing nearly nailed. And it's a pretty damn solid amplifier. And I know it's coming out of a solid pre, and I know that Bluetooth is pushing hard enough. How you feel, baby? Okay. This concludes part 1 of the RB42-Z, not C, RB42-Z build. And I'll keep working on it. Maybe I'll build a line array. I mean, DMS tried to build that line array, but his theories and how he was doing it differs wholly from how I would do it. And I don't know anything about speaker building. That's why it'll be fun. Because this is all just, I know this stuff exists. I could be implementing it entirely wrong, but it's free. I had everything that I'm using to test this. Ooh, anime tonight. Tofu anime tonight. So that's basically it. That's my long and short of this. I'm gonna pet my cat now. I'm gonna look at my my girl's pussy on the phone. Oh, and DHL's here, so I'm gonna get a package in about 3 seconds. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow with a normal unboxing. A peace.